So we've had the MOTOP now for about 18 months. Over that time, we've had the chance to test it in a number of different places, particularly in southeast Queensland, beach, bush, you name it, we've tried it all. Over that time, we've worked out what we do like and what we don't like. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna run through all that stuff and give you guys the best possible review we can. We'll start with the mattress. I've seen a lot of people complain about these mattresses online, but to be honest with you, we have never had a problem. This is my third rooftop tent and it's Nat's first rooftop tent, and neither of us think there is an issue with it at all. I think it's firm enough that your body's not resting on the base, but it's also soft enough that it supports you and wraps around you, keeps you nice and comfortable at night. I don't know if people are used to sleeping in caravans or in their inner spring mattresses at home, but to me, this thing is much better than sleeping on the floor. Now, a little hot tip while I'm still up here. This is a third generation tent, and these things came with this basically useless elastic organizer that's designed to attach up to the roof. It doesn't hold anything. It has no tension in it whatsoever, so anything that probably weighs more than 200 grams just sinks down and basically smacks you in the face. But what it is good for is we clip it to the little eyelets that are designed to restrain the eaves when you roll them up. So clip it in there on all four sides, and then what that does is when you pack it away, it assists in pulling the canvas in. A lot of people complain about the water issue, and I think one of those issues comes because this canvas is basically acting like it's a wick. It's wicking moisture in when it's closed up. So if you pull all this in, then it makes sure when you close everything and it's all sealed, nothing's poking through that seal, because that's what's going to pull water into your tent when it's in storage. Now you may notice I was wearing my thongs in bed. The reason for that is because these ladder rungs are friggin' uncomfortable on your feet. There is no place that you can put your foot on that is comfortable. If you put the ball of your foot on it, your wrist slipping off. If you put the arch of your foot on it, hurts like hell. So unfortunately you've got to wear some kind of footwear if you actually like your feet. Maybe if you don't feel anything with your feet, it won't be too bad. But for me, I wear my thongs up there, and then I normally pop them up on top of the spare tire up the top while I'm sleeping. Probably one of the only things I reckon needs to be changed about this is the width of these ladder rungs, just to make it more comfortable when you're climbing into bed. One thing I have noticed over time is, so when we first got this tent, it was a very dark black, and now since it's getting a little bit more sun, it's starting to fade almost to a grey brown kind of colour. I just don't think that canvas is as weather resistant as probably what it could be. However, it's not really an issue. We've not had any leaking with the canvas. We've never had any water come in through any of the seams or anything like that. So these come standard with the elastic that goes around the outside, pretty similar sort of feature on most rooftop tents. And what that does is it just assists it, as you pack it away, it just helps to pull that canvas in. So I think people come too reliant on that, and as I was talking about before, you still get little bits of canvas that want to poke through the seal. So this is exactly what I'm talking about here. So you'll see, yeah, there's that majority of canvas. It's pretty easy to tuck that bulk stuff in. But what I recommend you do, if you don't have a second person with you, is I recommend you get something like this. So this is just a sleeping bag liner, and what I use it for is I use it for a bit of a chock. So I come back up, push the tent up, jam it in there, and that just gives me a little bit of extra space. So close this door back down, climb up, and tuck it all up inside. Where this spline is sewn on into the sail track, and it's a bit more rigid, this seems to be where it wants to stick through that seal the most. So that's the most important part that you're looking for when you pack it away, is that is on the inside of the seal. Anything that breaks the seal is going to suck moisture in. So as you can see now, nothing sticking out through that rubber seal. There's nothing that's going to break that seal, especially when it's sitting in storage in the rain. But also where you're driving along on the highway, you can imagine the force of that rain's coming at. It's just going to punch through any little gap. So the more tight that seal is, the better off you're going to be to stop that water coming through. Now one downside, you'll notice packing that up, that there's absolutely nothing inside it, no pillows, no doona or anything like that. A lot of people reckon you can get a doona in there. Pillows, not to my knowledge can you get them in there. Maybe if they were real soft sort of flat pillows. It is a bit of a hassle having to take your bedding in and out every day, but like if you had a swag, you don't leave your pillow in there realistically anyway, so It's not too big of an issue as long as your bedding's clean and dry in the canopy, something like that. To me, not an issue at all. Another feature that I love with the MOTOP is there's a whole range of accessories available. You can actually see those brackets up the top there along the side, and there's also a lot more channel as well. So they're designed to fit awning brackets. What we've got on the roof there is 2 by 220 watt solar panels, so 440 watts of solar on the roof, and the brackets just make it so much easier to install. It fits nicely. You're not having to do anything custom. It's just pretty simple. Drill your holes in your panel, use a bracket, it's good to go. So the MOTOP is at the budget end of rooftop tents. However, we think for the price, value for money, we think it does a pretty good job. We are heading to the Simpson Desert in June, so that's going to be its first real big test. About 2 weeks on the road, so we'll see how it fares up then. But I'm banking that it's going to do the job that we need it to.